Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I have a good one for you today. I am at Dog Beach in Huntington Beach, California, and a lot of people are out enjoying the day. There's a lot to talk about, the national news, and found a great article from Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, that I want to share with you guys. Really cool, actually. Before I get into it, please take a second, hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, share this with all your friends and colleagues. Do not forget we have an email list in the video description below. Take a look at that. The dogs out here, man, it's crazy. It's packed today. So, first things first, Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary did a great article talking about a myriad of different subjects, and I want to cover all of them. First one was Elon Musk, and Elon Musk making all his money. And you know, he's got the right to do this. This is perfect. You know, this is the American dream, and Elon Musk has changed so many people's lives and changing the world, and we can't hold it against him at this point. Now, this week, it's kind of funny. Senator Bernie Sanders, you know, implied that he was too wealthy and needed to pay his fair share. And Elon Musk tweeted out that he had no idea that Bernie Sanders was still alive, and he said he would be happy to sell more stock if Bernie wanted him to. So, kind of funny when you think about that. But, again, either you love Elon Musk or you hate Elon Musk. And again, I'm a guy that I'm intrigued by, a guy that can go out, get all these government subsidies, and build a business from it. If you tried to do that today, you could not do this. There's no way you could get the government subsidies that this guy's got. And for some reason, this guy has a pipeline to it, regardless of who the administration is, regardless of who's in charge of our economy. This guy's got, you know, his pulse on that and that connection from that. Look at all these beautiful dogs out here. So, that being said, now, the next thing, Mr. Wonderful. By the way, I met Mr. Wonderful about 6-7 years ago, and I saw him speak at an event. The guy was great. The guy talked about, at the time, he talked about all the deals he had made through Shark Tank and how he had negotiated them, and absolutely fantastic. When I met him for the meet and greet and took that picture you just saw, I said, hey, you and I are going to work together someday. And he said, I've heard that before. So I thought that was kind of funny. Needed to have something to break the ice with him. But he was a really nice man, a gentleman. But as a speaker, I would love to see that exact same talk today, because he was talking about all the deals he's made, and you add 6+ years to it on everything that this guy's negotiated, and it would be absolutely insane. He'd have some serious deals that he could add to that list right now. I'll show you guys the tide's starting to come in right now. So again, this is Huntington Beach. People say I don't say it enough where I'm at, but sometimes you just need to go hang out with the dogs and just clear your head. Just absolutely beautiful, you know. Look at this little guy walking up right here. But Mr. O'Leary brought up a great point, and talking about workers right now. Coast Guard helicopter ripping by. Mr. O'Leary talked about workers right now, and that they're not coming back to the office. If you are in the commercial real estate space, you need to rethink this. If you think that the world's going to go out and pay your high rent to rent your place, you are absolutely delusional right now, because it's not going to happen. People are not going back to traditional offices. I'm not going back to a traditional office ever, okay? I don't need it. And anything that I would do would be a deal. I would work a deal with one of my clients to where I would get office space or get to use their conference rooms. Oh, sure, Dan, you want to use it? How many hours a month do you need it? I'd work that deal out with people. That's what you should do too. But the need for the high rents, you know, and here in California, another great article I put for you guys below, they were talking about basically industrial space. Either you've got manufacturing or you have logistics. Either you're making something or you're holding it to ship it out for people. That's what the majority of the manufacturing space is, or the industrial space here in California is. And These are both areas that are completely broken right now. The supply chain's broken, so people are not shipping what they normally ship. You get people that are not manufacturing enough here in the United States like they used to. So there's that. But anyways, to go back to Mr. O'Leary, you've got people are not working the traditional way that they were working 5 years ago, and they're never going to go back to it. But again, this is your opportunity to go and do something completely different. You know, my grandmother used to tell stories about the Depression, and I was like, oh God, I don't want to hear this, okay? But man, they were the greatest stories ever. And as I went back and researched the Depression, when I learned about Ben Bernanke, our previous Fed chairman, he was a student of the Depression. That was his big, that's what he did his thesis on, that's what he studied, was the Depression. When you look at this and you understand how it affected business and who was successful out of that, look at this right now. This is a change in our world economy right now, and you can make it for the better. What do you know right now? All these people, let's say that the story about the 4.4 million people that are older, that quit, that are not going to go back to work. Well, a lot of these people have written me and said, Dan, I hated my job, hated working for these idiots. I was unappreciated. My skill level was never used to its fullest capacity. Now is the perfect time to use your experience to your advantage to get a better job or a consulting gig or something right now. And you know, what are you good at? What do you know? People, you know, are you good at sales? Are you good at marketing? Are you good at fishing? Are you good at sports? Are you good at hunting, security? What are you good at? Well, you could be a consultant for absolutely anything, and there are people that will hire you just for that. Now, again, back in the day at Home Depot, when you walked in the plumbing aisle, you had a retired plumber there. When you went to the electrical aisle, you had the electrician. You could sit there and ask questions, and that's what you'd have. Well, they turned the corner and got away from that. Lowe's did too. But now they're coming back to that, where they're hiring people. Now, I'm not saying you want to work at a Home Depot or a Lowe's, but what do you want to do with your life right now? Because like Kevin O'Leary says, you do not need a college degree right now, okay? And you don't need the debt from being, you know, going to college right now. And I know so many people that have got, you know, student loan debts and they're 50, and they just have not gotten out of it. So if that's what you want, because you want the college experience, enjoy it, guys. Again, other people have written me, I'm a psychologist, I've done this for 20 years, I cannot get rid of my student loan debts. No, you have to pay them. That's the deal, guys. It's just not, they're just not going to be wiped off the face of the earth, because I'm telling you, I'd become a doctor. If they start giving away free college, I'll become a doctor, a grand poobah or something, okay, if it's going to be free. And I'll go to Yale or something like that, to say the least, okay? So, anyways, use your expertise. There are so many ways to make money right now that you can use your expertise on. You can write a book right now on absolutely anything. You can use self-publishing and make yourself a fortune letting people know what you do. Now, I have a friend who's in the licensing business who is really good at it, and a few years ago, well, in 2019, he wanted to speak again at one of my events, and I said, no, you gotta have something new to bring forward. Why don't you finish that book you've been talking about? So the guy finishes his book, gets to speak at the event, hands out copies of it, sells a bunch of copies, and that was at the end of July 2019. Now, flash forward to September, late September, and we're sitting there having lunch, working one day, and he goes, wow, I need to buy you lunch soon because I've made so much money from my book. I made almost $3 grand residuals just from your website alone for referring people to read my book. Now, guys, I know it's not $3,000, he's not rich on that, but just from my site, the guy made $3,000 from writing a book on licensing. Again, what do you know about it? Is it fly fishing? Is it sports? Is it hunting? What are you good at? What do you know that people would pay you for? Because I'm telling you, you can write a book. There's a woman on TikTok that I get a kick out of. She writes books on knitting and how to make things crocheting, okay? And again, I haven't bought one of her books, but she makes real money doing this, and she's got a niche audience who can't wait to read the next crochet book. What do you know? What do you do that you could show your expertise and write something? Oh, Dan, I've never written before. You don't have to be a writer to go write a book. Look at the stuff that's out there. But you can self-publish through Amazon. A friend of mine, every time somebody places an order, they ship the book. They print the book and ship the book for them. So you can get it online or you can get a hardcover book. I know a guy that wrote a book, The Millennial's Guide to Getting into the Medical Device Space. And David Baga made a fortune doing that. So another guy wrote a book and Amazon self-publishes it. But again, for the rest of his life, that guy's an author. So again, these changes, this world that we're living in right now, okay, whether you're out here on the beach or whatever you're doing, is going to change forever. This is like the Great Depression. There is no way to look at this other than that. You are foolish if you don't think that this is a transformative change in our economy, the way that things are marketed, the way that things are sold, the way that you purchase things, everything. Now, again, whether you think the current administration is going to do anything or you're not, I'm telling you, my fans, it's 50-50, okay? That's irrelevant right now to you earning a living. Wealth does not mean a stack of money to me. Wealth is the peace of mind to do what you want to do. Once your bills are paid, you're relatively rich at that point if you've got a little left over. So you need to live that way. Wouldn't it be nice to go out and write something or do something or advise somebody with some of your expertise? It'd be great, okay? Now, again, I love consulting businesses. I love walking in there. The Patreons that signed up for it, and I talked to this last week. I'm sure they'll all tell you that, wow, I talked to Dan and things change. Again, it's that different perspective. Me hearing what your business does and offering the suggestions changes a lot of people's business trajectory. And I'm a guy that likes to save money. Don't spend another dollar for advertising. Use what you're doing right now and get more out of it. Lots of barking dogs out here. Just a beautiful day. But again, you know, Kevin O'Leary, whether you like Shark Tank, you hate Shark Tank, I'm going to hear people tell me all these different things about him, but it's very interesting, everything that this guy had to say. Share your thoughts on this. Let's cover some more of the local news and look at some doggies. Hi. How are you? Hi. How are you? Oh, yeah. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. How are you? You're great. Now again, we keep getting all the inflation news out there, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But you know, I'm getting people sending me stories that are absolutely insane, and we're seeing, you know, fast food prices just go through the roof, and non-chain places where you walk in and you get fast food, you know, fast food Mexican food, things like that. How about $12 burritos, guys? $12 for a burrito. Oh, you want meat in that? It's going to be more. That's insane, guys. That just shows you how sky high everything has gotten. Now here's the thing. Eggs, beef, bacon are all up over 25%. And if you think that inflation is at 5.6%, you're kidding yourself. In 1980, they had a problem where inflation got above, you know, 13.5%, 14% month over month. We're going to see that again, guys. I think inflation is much higher than anybody wants to admit, and I think that we're going to see these 1980 numbers all over again. I think that's what you're going to see. You know, with all the supply chain issues, with the employment issues, with everything, that's just going to get worse. And one last thing that I forgot to add to the Kevin O'Leary story was, you know, he was saying, what did you expect when you give $3.5 trillion out and throw it out of a helicopter? Did you not expect things to go up in price because there's so much money out there? And did you not expect people to go open up Robinhood accounts and Webull accounts and things like that and start investing? You're kidding yourself if you didn't think that this was going to happen. So, you know, it's really interesting to see his perspective on this. I just met a subscriber, Clara, who is walking her dog out here. Nice to meet her. I love the compiled list of that people put together. And this next one is great. It's where are people moving to? And here's the top 30 places. So, you know, the way that the article was entitled was, you know, where are people from California moving? Now, I don't necessarily agree with this list because I think that some of them are kind of fudged a little bit. But first things first, they said that people are moving from California to Texas. That's true. Then they talked about Arizona, Nevada, Washington State, and Oregon. You know, just for giggles, Colorado was 6. A ton of people here are moving to Boise, Idaho. I don't know why that is. It's, you know, it's not 80 degrees in Boise right now, I'll tell you that. And the last one was Florida, 7. So again, I don't know if I necessarily agree with this list. Share your thoughts on this. Where do you think people are moving to? I always get a kick out of things like this because you know, people throw their 2 cents into this. I just think that more people are moving to Texas and Florida right now than any place else. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Want to know what you think, and let me know. Oh yeah, you caught it. Thanks, man. That's awesome. Hi, buddy. How are you? I like to get different perspectives on things. There's a man named Jeremy Grantham who is a legendary investor who runs Grantham, Mayo, and Van Otterloo. They call it GMO. And Mr. Grantham is convinced that of a few things. First of all, that the stock market is more overvalued than it was in 1929. And he feels that with giving people all this money and all the stimulus money that he gave, that's going to be an epic. Hi, bud. How are you? He feels that giving people all this money was ripe for the meme stocks. He says, of course, you're going to have these meme stocks that people were investing in and you know, and building up, and it was absolutely crazy. What did you guys expect? But the most interesting thing that this guy talked about was talking about Tesla, and that Tesla's overvalued, and that Tesla's been given all these government incentives, and they are ripe to fall. They are totally overvalued, and you need to look at one thing, and that is every single car manufacturer, everybody, GM, Ford, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, they're all right now looking to go electric. And when they do, Tesla's going to have major competition on its hands. And when that happens, the stock's going to drop an absolute fortune at that point. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. If you think that you know, this guy's crazy, I know, you know, the Elon lovers out there are going to be nuts, but he thinks that the stock market could fall as much as 50%. So he sees a crash, an impending doom coming. What do you guys think? Are things just going to continue to shoot up? Is your house going to be worth $6 million 2 years from now? Come on, guys. Share your thoughts on all this stuff. I want to know what you think. And oh, by the way, do I say share your thoughts too much? Because I had one guy that actually counted the number of share your thoughts in a video. And I wrote him a little hard on his email back because I thought of all the things he could have done with his time. So share your thoughts, guys. Is it too much? I'm standing on the shore, and you can see all the cargo ships out there, guys. There's an absolute ton of them. This problem has not gotten any better yet. It just has not. I'm going to wrap a few stories together to end this video, but think about how everything is changing in our economy. And if you're interested, you should look at ways to make money and how you can participate in that. That's my thinking. Right now, tractors are at an all-time high. John Deere and its majority of its employees are on strike right now, so it's made used tractor sales go through the roof. So what happens? A guy sets up a site that sells farm equipment and used farm equipment, and they're making a fortune. Now, there's companies that have been around for years, and then there's knockoff companies, and sure enough, this guy's making a killing doing that. The next thing is restaurants are going to the to kiosk displays. You walk in, you order everything and you sit down. I hate this personally. I don't go to restaurants that have this. I won't go back to restaurants that have this. And I'll use the perfect example of where I was with a woman once who we had to wait for our table. We ordered a glass of wine. She gets the glass of wine, finishes it, sits down. By the time we get to the table, she wants a second glass of wine. And they said, oh, can you go to the kiosk and order a second glass of wine? And there were a line of 9 people that I counted. No, I can't. Can you just take my card and, you know, get her a glass of wine? So there are major problems with this. Part of the restaurant experience for me is the restaurant experience. Sitting there, talking, chatting, having somebody bring you your iced tea and enjoy the experience. I think that this is going to be an absolute debacle. Why go out? Why not just go to fast food or fast casual if you're going to have larger restaurants do this? I can't stand that Macaroni Grill and Olive Garden does that now. So pass. You know, I want my zuppa Toscana and I want to have my never-ending breadsticks, but I don't want to pay and order through a kiosk. That's why you have a waitress and a waiter. It's that simple. So again, share your experiences with this because I can't stand it. If you think that this is going to save money, which that's the idea, it gets rid of an employee, but I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to swipe my credit card and do that without having somebody deal with all this. That's the whole idea of going out to dinner. And the final thing is we've talked a lot on this channel about grants. There is a grant program, the ASEAN grant program, that is ran in conjunction with LegalZoom, the NBA, and the WNBA, where you can get a $10,000 grant for your business. The application and the link to apply it through November 23rd is below, and they're giving out, you know, $10,000 grants, and then they're giving out something like $950, $500 packages for LegalZoom, which is pretty cool because you get all the benefits of LegalZoom. And this little guy coming in frame right here. So there's so many dogs out here, guys. There's all different sizes, but share your thoughts on this. Take a look at that grant. Even if you're self-employed, you have to have been in business at least 6 months. It's got a list of businesses that don't qualify. If you're a pawn shop and certain things like that, you're not going to be able to get this grant, but take a look at it. Onward and upward, guys. Please do not forget to hit the like button. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Be super kind to one another right now, guys, because people are having a tremendously difficult time right now. And please don't forget to join the email list. The email list is absolutely taken off. We've got an email coming out this week, and I will see you guys very soon.